Good morning everyone. I welcome you all today for your online classes. Today we are going to discuss class 8 history, chapter 6, the Great Uprising. This is a chapter which is going to tell us about the beginning of the uprising for the struggle of freedom movement. In this chapter we are going to study about the ruling of British in India, how they have controlled most of the part of India directly and indirectly. If they have controlled all the parts directly for the few land territories, then how they have indirectly controlled the areas of our country as their supremacy was accepted by the rulers like Mughal rulers, which was himself a ruler as king, that was Bahadur Shah Zafar. We have already discussed about all these things in chapter 2. But in this chapter we are going to discuss about the reasons, the causes, the results, the struggle of different people in the uprising. How did the first struggle, how did the first revolt came in the existence, that we are going to study today. So basically, I am going to tell you all about these reasons which are the main points behind the causes of uprising. The first is economic reason. So let's discuss about economic causes. Economic causes basically here means is causes related with money. This is a causes, this includes all the points that were related to money, taxation, which was imposed by Britishers on the common people like farmer, craftsmen. How the Britishers and their officers were exploiting the farmers by imposing tax on them, by forcing them to pay the revenue. All these things comes under this point. It also includes the condition of handicraft people, those who were doing the manufacturing work of handicraft. They were also facing a lot of problem due to the competition given by British goods, which were made up of clothes and on machineries, as the cost of those British goods were comparatively cheap. Moving on to the next point, the next cause, that is political causes. Political causes basically includes the causes which were related with the administration, the political point of view of Britishers, how it was affecting the Indian people to have a feeling of hatred, and that lead to the uprising. The main cause that was included in political reasons was the introduction of subsidiary alliance and doctrine of lapse, which was used as an instrument by British people to annex most of the territories, land in India. As the people of India and the rulers who have accepted the subsidiary alliance, they become directly dependent on British people for leading their army forces, for using their armies in different battles and war. Whereas in the other instrument that was led by Britishers, that was doctrine of lapse, according to which only the natural heir of the rulers were allowed to lead the succession of the empire, which was also creating a problem for many Indian rulers, those who were having adopted child as their successor. For example, Rani Lakshmi Bai. Now let's move to the third topic, the third reason, that is social causes. Social causes includes all the points of view which was related to the society at that time. As in our Indian society, there were many customs and cultural activities which was held as per the Vedas, and which was supported by most of the people in our society. And it was ultimately banning the freedom of women, like Sati Pratha. Sati Pratha was a pratha in which ladies, married ladies, were forced to burn themselves with the dead body of their husbands. One more culture and the system which was prevailing in the society at that time was widow, as the ladies who were not allowed to get remarried after their husband dies, so that was being changed by the Britishers to bring a change in the society for the betterment of women. As women at that time and widows were also encouraged by British people to have education, to get educated by Western means. They were also promoting widow remarriage system, which was totally disliked by Indian people as per their culture. They were mainly opposing and banning the sati system that ultimately inculcated a hated kind of feeling in the souls of Indian people. That was also a reason behind the uprising. Moving to the next cause, that is religious causes. Religious causes includes all the issues that was having a fear in the minds of Indian people, as at that time they used to think that British will force them, and they were forcing them to change their religion. They were promoting the conversion of religion and turning them Christian. This was a main fear in the minds of people at that time, as they were being conversed in the society, in the public gatherings and group, in the different means of communication and mass media also, like newspaper. Moving to the second last point, that is military causes. We can consider military causes as one of the most effective causes behind the uprising, as military causes includes all the points which was feeling a kind of hurdle for soldiers, sepoys at that time, as Indian soldiers and sepoys were basically recruited in the British army just for the sake of creating a mass of soldiers, but they were not given proper treatment in the army. They were paid less in comparison to the British sepoys. They were not given a proper designation to work, and without their any convenience and any agreement, they were transferred from one place to another place. They were treated like slaves at that time on a very low remuneration. Now, we have one more point, that is immediate cause, that we will be discussing in the upcoming video. I hope all these 5 points are clear to you all. If you all have any query, please do ask me everyone. Thank you.